What is up, guys? Ben here with another value drop. I did 85K in February, and today I'm going to give you a look under the hood, what we're actually doing, show you the kind of details on what my team looks like, how we acquire clients, and how much we're actually turning each month in profit. So we did an 85K month in cash earlier this year. So by keeping consistent with this figure, we actually will have $1 million year, which is kind of awesome. And today I just really want to give you a full breakdown of what my team looks like, the strategy we're using to bring in this level of revenue, what my profit margins are, so you can really understand how I'm going about hitting crazy numbers like this. So if you don't know me, my name is Ben. I work with coaches and course creators that are stuck between 1K per month and 30K per month in the high ticket service space. I don't work with people that haven't had any paid clients before. I help them scale with leveraged organic methods and setters using a simplified sales funnel, which we're going to cover in this video. If you want to learn more about what I do, head over to my YouTube channel. I literally break down everything, share about my program so you know the journey. Let's get into the proof and let's get the boring stuff out of the way. So 57K came through Stripe and another 28K came through our Wise account. Here we've got the calls booked data that comes through our software system. So these are the numbers for Feb. As you can see, the entire business did around 1,100 outreaches. Follow-ups were higher this month that we did it because we were working the middle and the bottom of the funnel leads and we hadn't had time to get around to them for a while. Meetings booked were 39. These numbers are pretty ridiculous. To sit 39 meetings and get 85K works out to be that you're getting paid $2,000 every single call that you sit, whether or not it closes. Now, I've put 8K back into this business, and gotten 85K out. So it works out to be 10x ROI, which is pretty ridiculous. I feel like I could have actually taken on more people from those calls. But the beauty of this is that you actually don't need to take on people that aren't the best fit. For us, we have this in place so we can be selective around who we take on. We can generate solid case studies because client results are really the lifeblood of any successful business. And the moment you start sacrificing your client results for revenue is the moment you actually start failing. I've seen a lot of people in the 5-6 years I've been doing this go down that path. It's just not a good business move, not a gamble that I'm willing to take. Anyway, in those 30 days, it's crazy, but I've only spent $7,400 on all business expenses. So the team, the software, everything on the business. There's $600 per month for an outreach specialist. That's EJ. And she pretty much reaches out and finds leads from our Facebook and Instagram accounts. The setter, Julia, then takes the new conversations. She warms them, qualifies them, sets them into my calendar, sends them content to consume about the offer so they're pre-sold. Julia gets about 4 to 8K per month. It was just commission when she started. Then when she got really good, I actually just decided I had to put a 3K base on top of her pays. I didn't have to do that, but she was making so much money for our business. I just didn't feel okay not paying her more, if that makes sense. So Julia also creates her own content. She books calls from her own Facebook and Instagram accounts. And there's just naturally just like this sickening amount of momentum being built and attention on our offer every single day because of this. So there we go. We spend 7 to 9K, which makes it about 76 or 78K take home profit. And that's a disgustingly good ROI. There's no ad spend on top of that. There's no expensive software costs. If I'll be transparent, knowing that there's still coaches and course creators out there that are still doing organic marketing, sending out their own outreach, setting their own calls, stuck in this like small game, making small money, small impact, hoping it's eventually going to turn around somehow. Like, I just can't comprehend how you can get anything else done when you're having to do all of that operations, all of those operations yourself. So here's a little deeper dive into what the team actually looks like. 3 killers on the team. Ben, my roles and responsibilities are to make sure EJ has the best high quality audiences with her lead gen. I didn't put that in there because I've actually recently delegated that to her, so she now can actually do that herself. She finds the leads. She has the best leads to reach out to. I generate bomb content to warm and nurture leads in our funnel. I sign people up on enrollment calls, and I'm the client success manager. So I manage all of our clients. I don't entertain the idea really of having a client success coach or coaches. I'm working to delegate everything else before this. I manage client success, take enrollment calls, because these are really the last things to delegate, and I don't believe in sacrificing client results for scaling. I've seen that distraction just literally let the air out of so many people's tires. They started out so strong, but they just made the wrong decision focusing on just making money. So instead of increasing the number of clients we take on, we can just keep increasing our prices and keep working with fewer clients at a time so we can generate better results, which means that I partner with less clients, I have less operational complexity, I need to hire less people, and then leveraging price increases, I just keep scaling the revenue, dialing in the fulfillment system for the clients. So I pay my setter about 4% commission. There's a 3K base along with that, super solid. Most like to give a bit less, we like to give more. It ends up being about 7K. She books calls for us, all of our calls. So if we do the maths on it, it works out that the business expenses are, let's say 8K to be conservative. Revenue's 85K, profit is like 78K, which is like a 91% profit margin, which is actually ridiculous. To honestly think that there are people out there that are making more money than I am, working harder than I do for longer, and they take home less profit at the end of the day because their business model depends too much on them to operate. It's just the foundations that you build on really should be built with scalability in mind, or it's just kind of silly to do business in that way. Profits are more important than just like the size of the revenue. The size of the profits should also be large. Here's the funnel breakdown itself. It's the same funnel I use to acquire successful clients. It's the same funnel that we build in our clients' businesses. The purpose of me saying this is that if you see these little markings just over here, this is the team. This is how I delegate and how we train the clients to delegate and what we place in the client's business, okay? First hire was an outreach specialist. She reaches out, again, she qualifies, she brings the leads into our ecosystem. And I hated doing that, to be honest, because I struggled being consistent with it. It took me too long. I actually didn't like the rejection because I knew that my intentions were in the right place. And I just needed to get out of that. So once I started making a bit of cash, I decided this was someone else's job. It just had to get done, really. So I put a bit of cash in there, got about 3 to 5 hours per day back straight out the gate. And there was something really wonderful, beautiful about seeing leads coming in without me even doing anything necessarily. I'm saying this because it was so good to have someone doing this outreach for me. Besides the fact that they were crushing it, I didn't even need to bring in a setter at this stage because I had just all of these people in my inbox to just set as calls. My revenue just increased pretty easily just by pulling that one lever. My first hire was an outreach specialist. Hated doing the outreach. I didn't want to spend 5 to 10K per month on ads. Also didn't want to wait and take the time for the ads to convert. Outreach specialist started converting leads within like 3 to 4 days, which was really good because they use a targeted outreach approach. Outreach specialist was about $600 per month to bring leads into my inbox to set. Next is then having a setter. It's a game changer having a setter implemented. I get to focus on what I'm actually passionate about, which is spending time with action-taking clients, producing insane case studies, and enrolling new people into the program. So setter converts and the nurtured leads brought in by the outreach specialist, they just set them. Delegating this gave me 4 to 6 hours per day back. Yep, I was doing about 80 hours a week before I had this in place and was just making inconsistent 20 to 30K months. So it wasn't very effective, had to change something. Now I haven't put the next one on there, but next is the video editor. To be honest, only in the past month have I actually hired a video editor. You don't really need it until you're at like 30 to 60K per month. They do the editing of the YouTube videos, my reels, because although I know it's important, I just hate doing those things. It just takes a lot of time and I'm not really passionate about it. It attracts a lot of leads into your business. Now that I'm making some money, I just shoot the video, send it to the editor, send it back. They send it back as a refined banger, which is just pretty sweet. Closer, haven't really needed one to be honest, because our front end works so well. Then our middle of funnel content, we sometimes implement a challenge in the middle there. It's gotten to the point of doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me, which is pretty sweet. At this stage, there's so many new people coming into this ecosystem of ours every single week. We're getting a lot of hand raisers on our content, which convert into inbound calls. These are the kind of people that require like a 30-minute call to discuss details and they're ready to rip it on a 9 to 15K offer. Then there's this system we have for upselling from our core offer, which is converting super well. We got to 50K per month on one offer. We added the back end offer. Within 1 month, we had added like 35K to our revenue. So having this, like, if you have a client base and you don't have something that's upselling at like at least 50% and for 20 to 30K, this is so much money being left on the table. To be honest, about 40% of this revenue came from inbound calls through content and then back-end sales. Most of them didn't even need selling. They were so converted and they just had to just know how to pay, really. So there isn't any strain on the front end having to produce any massive amount. Honestly, at this stage, if you're not convinced yet, just go to our YouTube channel, watch the content until you've converted yourself, watch the client results playlist, on our YouTube channel, my highlights on Instagram, Ben McDowell Coaching, one word. Go check it out. Go through them until you've decided you're ready. Then shoot me a DM on Instagram. Let's get this ripping. If you want the scoop on how we do this, it's pretty simple. I've looked at what requires the most energy and time, which is just the top and middle of funnel. Generating the leads, the content to convert, and then the setting to actually set nurtured leads. And I've just pretty much delegated and automated those systems with a low-cost mechanism. Now, originally I became really good at the lead gen, even though I hated doing it, so I created the training and I ramped up the outreach specialist to take it over for me so they could get results fast, and now I don't even have to think about it. Honestly, as a CEO, you shouldn't be wasting time worrying about not having any leads or enough leads or calls coming in, or where your clients will come from. Like, if you're having to reach out to people to generate clients, it just honestly shouldn't be a part of your day. The last thing that you should be worrying about is where your next clients are going to come from and thinking, oh, how can I resell past clients to even break even? Shouldn't still be sending DMs. Anyone serious about scaling to 50K per month that is still sending DMs is not a CEO. They're something like a glorified employee. Most in this situation don't even earn as much as an employee. They don't even, because the issue is there's no leads being generated for you, no content converting your audience for you at scale, take it out there in the wilderness. So nobody's setting the leads. And I'm not really sure what's worse, a business coach or a course creator or a marketing agency that is doing lead gen and setting themselves, acquiring clients like where they have to do everything themselves, that doesn't have control over client flow and income, or a business coach, marketing agency that's trying to teach other people how to do that same thing, especially when they know better systems like outreach specialists and setters are being used and people are getting results with them, like if they've consumed our content. So don't be one of those people. In the middle of the funnel is a setter. They're booking in hand raises from the content. They're picking up the low-hanging fruit from the pipeline. They're sending YouTube long-form content videos to convert leads higher up in the funnel. They're using case study and value follow-ups for leads in the middle and bottom of funnel that haven't been converted yet, just to bring them over the line. We had someone a couple of weeks ago also sign up who was sent a YouTube video with one of these follow-ups. They went through this awesome scroll hole on our channel and they converted themselves. Then they asked for the payment link. Super easy conversion, just went like that. And I didn't even have to do anything. For me, for many, this is the bottleneck that they have going on. It's that they don't really have enough time to get around to all the leads. So lots of money is being left on the table because of this lack of middle of funnel follow-up. You get people all the way to like being deep in a conversation or requesting a booking link. They don't respond, so you just forget about them. Like, that's why we need a setter in there to take that, to just pick up that money. So the purpose of this middle of funnel is 100% to pre-sell your audience at scale. Most people need a lot of warming up to arrive at the call, having already decided to buy. And trust me, you don't want to have to invest the time and energy to become an expert closer, spending hours closing a single client. You don't need to. You shouldn't have to put your prices down. You should just work on the funnel. A mistake I made when I didn't know any better was this, and you can just avoid that for free. Classic examples of this is Jay, who I was mentioning before. Came on board about a month ago, recently launched a masterclass. I went over to England to interview him actually. Coming in, he had a good offer selling whiteboard sales trainings for coaches. He'd had some successful clients, but he was really struggling to generate new leads and calls himself, making about 0 to 15K per month was super irregular income. Now, within the last 30 days, he's generated over 42K in new revenue that's actually collected. So he had a 14K week, at the same time generated 40 new leads in his masterclass with the help of his outreach specialist. Within 7 days, he did that. And he was just signing more clients at networking events on top of this. So pretty nuts results right there. Head over to our client results playlist, check out his full story. It's also going to be on the end screen of this video. Hiring a VA or an outreach specialist, putting out content, that's actually the easy stuff. The tricky part is getting the level of clarity needed in the messaging at the top and the middle of funnel, so you're generating the right kind of attention, speaking to the right people for the offer. These guys that have the money, they have the right level of urgency to take action coming in through the top of funnel, and then we give them undeniable experiences of value around the middle. We warm them up, we convert them into our clients, we deliver killer results, then we upsell them and we feed these results and part of the revenue back up into the top of the funnel in the form of case study interviews. We put more outreach specialists on, we put more setters on, maybe we get onto another platform and scale that platform on the vertical. And then the content that's so dialed at this stage just converts everyone like mad. And the compounding effect of this is actually just sickening. So it's a nice little positive flywheel there, and that just kind of works mostly without you once it's up and running. Following this, you're going to look at your profits and your your bank account is going to soon look like this. But guys, I know there's a lot of gurus out there that are just preaching we need to be on so many different platforms, building affiliate teams, writing books, referrals, having a podcast to get clients. Honestly, like, I know so many coaches, course creators, spreading themselves too thin, trying to like manage all of this complexity. They just strangle their potential in this way. I get consistent, regular, ideal clients without any of that stuff, and I'm honestly just a normal guy. Like, there's nothing special necessarily. Like, of course everyone's special and all that stuff, but nothing like different about me than anyone else. How does a person even fathom generating $85,000 within 30 days organically? We do all of this just through Facebook, and now we're moving into Instagram. Within 3 days of launching, we just booked our first call on Instagram, but we did all of this on Facebook. Bear in mind, like, I don't work any crazy hours. Yesterday, I went out for coffee with a mate for half the day. We had some lunch. It was awesome. Really nice, beautiful weather to get outside and just still have the business be building. I have a small team. Don't have any crazy number of clients to manage. I spent 2 weeks before that just back home in the UK partying with my mates and family for a wedding. Had a blast, just made bank, and brought in more case studies. Honestly, this is why I've grown so fast, and the clients as well, because there's no fluff. There's nothing extra that consumes too much time. It's just really focusing on operationalizing the business. Now, the process is like 5 steps. It's crazy simple. It's pretty stupid actually, because a lot of the time I'm just removing unnecessary steps from the funnel, simplifying things, taking out things that aren't really needed. I actually get nervous sometimes that it won't have enough in it, but then I remember what matters the most is that it works, and there's a lot of case studies that back up the claims. So this is the final product, 50 to 80K per month, and this is it, the result currently. Little shout out to EJ. I'm super impressed by EJ for working so hard. So I almost feel obligated to give her bonuses like constantly, especially for hitting the 80K per month milestone, which is super nice to be able to do. I bought Arceta a MacBook Pro and an iPhone 15. She needs good tech to crush it, so we got her that. And it's just good to be able to give money away to the performers on the team that are just working so hard. So that's all for now, guys. Let me know if I can help you with any questions down below. Like if you're stuck between a couple grand per month, some months your revenue is low, maybe you've hit like a couple 20K per month like Jay, but it was just didn't have control over replicating it. Just had someone join that's now doing close to 100K per month, and he's moving into another niche to scale that as well. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this one. If you want to see something more in depth on how we're running the outreach specialists, how that works, how the team works, how we keep profits high, how we structure maybe delivering and upselling, because the success you generate with your clients is really just like the key to turning everything else on, getting those upsells and pouring gasoline on this fire of the efforts of what you put into your business. So it's obvious to say, but without clients winning, it's just like a scam offer. So without clients winning, nothing else works for very long. Again, if you haven't seen our client wins, just go to my Instagram, go to Facebook, check out the highlights, go to the YouTube channel, check out client results playlist, follow and subscribe. You're going to see literally case studies coming through every day, pretty much. The client's absolutely destroying this by implementing this system, taking action, and it's not difficult. Now they're enjoying better lives. See you soon. Peace.